This will be the final word in the story of Skywalker.
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Get tickets now.
The Rise of Skywalker TV spots simply keep coming, and it will likely be this way until December 20th when the film actually releases. This though is by far one of my most favorite TV spots as it reveals the most, including brand new dialogue from Darth Sidious himself in the opening, as well as a ton of story hints for the movie itself. I also want to point out that I really love the music in this, with it actually bringing back the Duel of Fates theme, a theme that was used both in The Phantom Menace and the Qui-Gon Darth Maul duel, as well as in Revenge of the Sith when Yoda fought Darth Sidious, and I hope they bring it back again here. I also really like how the Duel of Fates theme actually leads directly into the Imperial March. I know this isn't so much anything to do with the breakdown, but still something that I thought was really cool. Anyway, now I want to talk about the dialogue by Darth Sidious, who says this will be the final word in the story of Skywalker. The dialogue itself is pretty self-explanatory, but I'm not exactly sure who Darth Sidious will be talking with and speaking with here, although I would suspect it's most likely Rey, or again, it could potentially even be Kylo Ren if he does in fact have a change of heart. This new dialogue is accompanied with one brand new shot of the Death Star 2 duel between Rey and Kylo Ren, as the footage immediately transfers to the planet of Pasaana, a desert world, as we get a little bit of an elongated shot of the chase sequence between the jet troopers Rey, Finn, Poe, and Chewie. As we can see with her blaster that Han Solo gave her all the way back in The Force Awakens, Rey actually manages to destroy one of the desert bikes that the First Order is using. There's then a few shots of the Millennium Falcon piloting through an unknown area. However, it appears to be the same location where we find Darth Sidious at later points in the footage, as well as other footage that we've seen from the Rise of Skywalker trailers and TV spots. It's even possible that the Millennium Falcon is piloting through sections of a Star Destroyer that is currently deactivated, as again I've pointed out in other footage that a lot of the Star Destroyers that we actually see in the trailers don't appear to actually be functioning and to be active. Just a portion of them are, which I assume it's Darth Sidious's plan to activate all of them and destroy the Rebel Alliance. Just discussing the Star Destroyers, the next few shots appear to be a space battle, with Poe piloting an X-Wing, as well as a Y-Wing bomber being shot down by a bunch of First Order TIE Whisperers. Although it's quite obvious, I still think it's worth noting that a lot of the First Order is clearly on Darth Sidious's side here, with again a lot of the smaller ships being from the First Order itself, but the larger ships being from the Imperial era. As to exactly what happened to all the Imperials that followed Darth Sidious into the unknown regions of space, I'm not sure, but it's clear that Palpatine at least has kept all of his resources. The next two shots I find to be the most compelling, as it's Rey looking at a destroyed TIE Whisperer on what appears to be the planet of Ahch-To. There were a lot of reports and leaks that indicated that Rey would actually be going back to Ahch-To at some point during the Rise of Skywalker. But before I talk about it here, I do want to indicate a spoiler warning for episode 9, so if you do not wish to be spoiled, I would click off the video around now. If you're still here, let's go ahead and briefly talk about Rey's motivations. Apparently, over the course of the Rise of Skywalker, Rey will be having a massive battle with the dark side of the Force within herself, and she too in the end ultimately decides to exile herself on the planet of Ahch-To. This is where Luke Skywalker as a Force ghost appears and convinces her to rejoin the fight. Again, according to the same report, while on the planet, Rey may actually discover the lightsaber that belonged to Leia, wielding that lightsaber in the final battle against Darth Sidious. But nonetheless, I do think it's interesting that Rey is actually returning to Ahch-To over the course of the Rise of Skywalker, and I do think it's for the purpose of exile, the same way her master exiled herself in the events prior to The Force Awakens. The next new shot we get is of Babu Frick, the same individual that will be reprogramming C-3PO, and then some shots that we've seen before of Kylo Ren approaching a structure. I actually believe that this takes place fairly early on in the movie, and again, this is apparently the same location where Darth Sidious is residing, as you can tell by the structure itself as well as the lightning surrounding it. I think that this is actually the first time that Kylo Ren actually encounters Darth Sidious, and perhaps where Kylo Ren is eventually swayed to join the Sith Lord. And the final shot is of Rey looking at again what we all assume to be Darth Sidious, something that we glimpsed finally in the final trailer for the Rise of Skywalker, but this just being a little more of a reaction shot on behalf of Rey. But that's pretty much all I have to break down about this TV spot for The Rise of Skywalker. Again, by far my favorite TV spot. Anyway guys, what was your thoughts on this brand new footage, and what are you most excited for in The Rise of Skywalker? Thank you guys as always so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, may the force be with you, and have a great day.